Hello, everyone. It is loading, but I believe I should be live already. I am here only briefly for a couple minutes as I do have session today. Here we go. I am seeing myself. Let me make sure that you all can hear me before I continue on. Surprise. Hello, everyone. There we go. Loading. Here we go. We are here. Okay, thank you. Thank you for joining me briefly today. As I said, I have a session today. I thought it was very important that we communicate some of the messages that have been given to me in regards to this 1212 portal. In case you don't know who I am Aurora, and I have my website. You can find me is risingphoenixaurora.com, and where I offer aura regression, which is a hypnosis, and I also am certifying people as well, and Akashic readings and many other alchemy teachings and classes. So check me out there. Very good. Thank you for being here today. Such a beautiful day, wonderful day. My goodness, the energy has been amped up. I do have a session, a live that I went through yesterday, and I talked about this 1212 portal. So there's a couple things that I wanted to specifically touch base this morning. Again, only here for a couple minutes. Okay. Now, what is going on currently with the 1212 portal is, as we know, there was the full moon, and even in some of these times of amplifications of the 1212. If you want to find out more details about that, you can watch my live from yesterday about that. Well, what is going on right now is the significance. So you could understand the significance to that. You would have to watch the significance to the 1212, my yesterday's live channeling, okay, on the 1212 portal. So I'm going to go into more in depth to what's occurring right now. What's occurring right now is that because of this 1212 portal, and then specifically in the 1212 times, like the 1212 full moon last night, the 1212 afternoon today, if it hasn't, if it's already occurred for you, say you're operating already in the day after, no worries, you can actually meditate and you could tap into that energies. For the energies are infinite, right? There is no limitation to these energies, so they will continue to rotate around Earth. Okay, so you're going to be feeling that right now with that. And what is occurring specifically with this 1212 portal is that there is, as we have talked about, there is not just one specific, the event. Through the Raw Collective that I channel in the Elohim, we've talked about how there is several events, particularly because this is the year of the 12. Again, you want more information, watch yesterday's channeling for that. This is the year of the 12, and then we are looking at a 12-12 date on these 12-12 times. Whether it's the AM or PM, it is amplifying them just like it amplified it in the 12/21/2012 when we started shifting into a new Earth frequency. When you can say the very first event started occurring. So we're feeling that right now. There is an event occurring. For some of us who are holding love light, you're going to feel vibrations, strong vibrations going through you right now. Make sure you take good care of yourself, lots of water, try not to eat any meat. Definitely animal products, they maintain your density dense, which will make you very exhausted, and it will lessen your frequency and your energies. It won't allow for you to raise your vibration high enough. So you are aware of this, then you will understand that we are holding light for others and portals for this ascension. Now, as we know, time itself is all occurring at the same time. So as these transitionings are happening, the 5D is occurring alongside with what we're living here, alongside, linear to us in the third and the fourth dimension. Okay. Now, let's see what else. So there is, what they showed me is there is an actual event occurring, an event of the event. These individual events that occur throughout time and space when it is needed for humanity, for the collective, they basically, what the purpose to them is that they bring us forth, you could say a step forward and a step forward every single time, a lifting of the density, a bit of a percentage of the lifting every time. And they are talking about like a a good significant of density being shifted right now from within the earth with this, because as these people are physically passing through, or we could not know something, someone could be passing through and we won't know, someone that is close to us, they might have already gone into the, say, their own individual ascension of event, and we won't know because we won't be aware of that, because we'll still be helping out in the third D. Now we can be aware of it though, if we are operating in multi-dimensionals, multi-dimensions like we do throughout the day. Okay, so that is what's going on. I was also shown specifically right now is a very important time. We talked about it yesterday, working on self-love, service to self in a positive, balanced manner, where you are honoring, loving, and respecting yourself. With this is that they're showing me that we can actually, in this time and space, again, meditate upon this, think upon this, and you don't have to sit there for an hour, half an hour. Just sit there for a minute, or even just think while you're driving, while you're washing your dishes. Go into your imagination. Remember what society has told you, that your imagination is not real. It is inaccurate. Your imagination is, your daydreaming is actually most likely occurring somewhere in another dimension, in some kind of reality. It is creating, most likely. So when you are there, sit in your imagination and think about some of those pains that you have throughout your body. And what they showed me is, say you have a memory. I was talking to one of my assistants, and this was such a beautiful story I wanted to share with you. We this basically, one of my assistants had a visual a couple years ago, when in her awakening, where there was a Native American little girl in the land that she lives. And she had tapped into a land that had a lot of this pain and trauma. Now, when she had a vision, which is an imagination, right? Through her imagination, a daydream, and whatever you want to call it. And she saw a little girl being separated from her mother. Her mother was leaving. No, I'm sorry. She was leaving. So what happened in that time and space? They were separating the Native American children. This happened as well in the Americas, not just in Canada. But they were taking them away to schools, and then the mothers were sending them off because they had to supposedly, learn the religion, learn these, teachings that we know are quite infringed upon. So they separated the children, the native children, the indigenous children, from their mothers, and they took them to these schools. And a lot of them never, didn't get to see them till perhaps when they were very much older, or sometimes maybe they might have seen them here and there. But yes, so this created a very big separation from the divine mother energies to the children mother energies, the energies of the mother and children. Now, originally, what this my sister has seen in this time when she was awakening, she saw herself being separated from her mother and leaving and being tormented because she loved her mother dearly. Yeah, it is horrible. That would be a horrible experience. So what happened recently during this time of the 1212 portal is that, once again, when meditating, she was able to see this life, and it just happened. It just happens, like you could say, accidentally, or just fluently, organically. It just came up as she was meditating, and all of a sudden, when she was thinking of this land once more, which that's what your higher self will help you do, your guides, those thoughts that come into your mind, honor them. They are coming forth into your mind for a reason. Register them, study them, look into them. Why is it that I am thinking of this particular situation? What is the reason? And when you ask, you shall receive answers. It is when we get a thought form and a vision, and then we just keep moving on. We don't, investigate it, is when we're not truly going into the depths that we are, and infinitely that we are. Now, in this time around, with this 1212 portal, alongside with her, they showed, I'll tell you one more thing that they showed me, and then I do have to go, as for my session is waiting for me. So they showed now a vision where she was a little girl once more. However, this time her mother said no. Her mother kept her, and she stayed with her mother. And all of a sudden she felt that shift and healing within her, immense, emotion and crying and healing. And that timeline in particular was healed. So think about how powerful that can be. Memories that you might have within yourself and creation, whether it's here or in other existence that you hold trauma, you've been shown something throughout time. There has been something that has been shown to you that has been important for you, whether it's from this life or another. There is. Know this and understand this. Okay. For some reason, it's not loading, so I'm not seeing your chats here. Okay. So I'm just going to finish this up. So remember that power. Go into those times that you might think right now while this event is occurring and these high vibrations are occurring for yourself, healing yourself and the ancestors, because that would be an ancestral line for her, because it is both her and her ancestor, incarnation. And then something else they showed me was there great floods that have occurred both in Lumeria and Atlantis, when the waters had to sink. You were in Lumeria, you were in Atlantis. This is a time that you want to be touching base, and it's going to be going. These energies are going to travel around the Earth, at least going past January 13th, going past that. And you can tap into these energies. So don't feel bad if you're listening to this after. You can tap into these 12 portal dates. Okay. Now, what they showed me was that some of this trauma, for example, like the New Orleans, what is the name of that? What broke? The levee. The levee is what they call it, broke. Well, as we know, that was definitely infringed upon. Now, what the purpose to that was because that area had Atlantis within it, surround its pieces. It's a piece still left from some pieces there still left from Atlantis. So that whole area of like the Gulf of Mexico, that was Atlantis there, and then also some parts to the east where the Atlantic Ocean is at. Those were all like a piece there that was inserted around Florida, connecting to South America. Okay. And what is happening is that we are looking to heal. So when they caused the New Orleans flood and all the trauma that they caused to the families, the separations, some people lost their animals, losing their homes, their stability, their, everything that really, because our homes are what they are safe haven, our temples, our place where we can be ourselves and be safe, right? So that was a very big trauma that occurred in humanity as a collective. So this is a time, if you were part of those New Orleans or any really some of these hurricanes that are infringed upon that are occurring even in Florida, this particular part is targeted so that Atlantis can stay in the trauma and the pain that is suffered when it almost sunk down. I mean, when it sunk down, when it almost ascended into the 560 that it was meant to, because it was more of a 5D going into the 60 dimensions in that time. So think about the use in those times and how you can heal them and work with yourself and love yourself. And now change, just like my assistant change that and envision that and allow for that to spring forth. You can do that as well and believe that you can. And anytime you work with alchemy like that and work within yourself and your past lives and your energies, always say without harming anyone, without overstepping boundaries, specifically without harming anyone, and you shall ensure that you are only pulling organically from your own infinite love. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening to this message. And I have this beautiful song that I listen to. I love this movie. It just brings tears to my eyes every time. It is Greatest Showman. So in case you haven't seen that, The Greatest Showman, Hugh Jackman and Zac Efron. I'm not sure if I said that right. Beautiful, superstars that are so deeply, you could tell in their hearts, have were part of this. And this particular song, which I don't remember her name, but I have the lyrics here. that I was listening to right before I came live because it makes me feel so empowered. And this has to do a lot with being ourselves and healing ourselves. So I'm going to read them out to you. I'm not going to sing them because I'm probably going to cry. But I'm not a stranger to the dark. Sing slightly. Hide away, they say, because we don't want your broken parts. I've learned to be ashamed of all my scars. Run away, they say. No one will love you as you are. But I won't let them break down. But I won't let them break me down to dust. I know that there's a way. There's a place for us. For we are glorious. When the sharpest words wanna cut me down, I'm gonna set a flood. I'm gonna drown them out. I am brave, I am bruised, I am who I'm meant to be. This is me. Look out, 'cause here I come. And I'm marching to the beat of a drum. I'm not scared to be seen. I make no apologies. This is me. Oh. That's a beautiful song, and I'm sorry I got chopped up there. Anyways, listen to that song. I love you all. It's called This Is Me, The Greatest Showman. And I thought that that was a beautiful song to end this transmission with, because this is who you are. Love you all. Have a beautiful, blessed day. I honor you, thank you, and I respect you. Thank you.